Folks, I just swerved into something that I really didn't see coming. I'm going to put my other glasses on here so I can see better. Concerning the solar eclipse of August 21st, but when I go and read, now first of all, this total solar eclipse is when the moon, because of the distance between the earth and the sun, completely covers the sun. Completely. And we have all assumed that the previous blood moons before and the previous solar eclipses before mean something. And I'm certain that they do. But we have all also assumed that a total lunar eclipse is a blood moon and that a partial lunar eclipse is not. Well, according to news sources, the partial lunar eclipse of August the 7th that was seen in most parts of South and East Asia, Europe, Africa, and Australia. Now, what is East Asia? Look up East Asia. Come on. If it was seen in most parts of Europe, East Asia, then logically it would have been seen in Israel. Interesting. What am I getting at here? You see, this happened on the 15th of Av. Is there anything special about the 15th of Av? I went to Chabad.org and I looked it up. So on 1274 BCE, in wake of the incidents of the spies in which the generation that came out of Egypt under Moses' leadership demonstrated their unpreparedness for the task of conquering and settling the Holy Land, Jehovah decreed that the entire generation would die out in the desert. After 38 years of wandering through the wilderness, the dying finally ended, and a new generation of Jews stood up ready to enter the Holy Land. It was on the 15th of Av of the year 2487 from creation, or 1274 BCE, on the 15th of Av. So this blood moon, which it was a partial, the Bible doesn't say that it has to be a partial or a total lunar eclipse. All it says, moon turned to blood. That's all it says. So we have the moon turned to blood on a day that symbolizes Israel, on a full moon. But the moon turns to blood. The blood moon symbolizes Israel's fate in Jewish tradition. But this one happens on the 15th of Av, in conjunction with a total solar eclipse, where the entire sun is covered this time in the United States. And that one happens on Rosh Chodesh Elul, which is the first of Elul, which Elul, especially the first day of Elul, is to prepare for the day of judgment that happens in 30 days, the Feast of Trumpets. The blowing of the trumpets is the day of judgment. Now, in Jewish tradition, a total solar eclipse in conjunction with a blood moon is a representation of impending judgment upon the Gentiles. And it is reasonable to conclude as such because you had a total solar eclipse go over Nineveh, and right in the middle of the time when Nineveh was being torn apart by civil war, disease, and external wars, extremely badly. And this was just before Jonah came to warn them of impending doom. It was right around the same time. Then you had a total solar eclipse in 1914 over Europe, 2 months after World War I started, marking judgment upon the Gentiles. But when you have a blood moon on the 15th of Av, marking a new generation of Israel to be accepted into the Holy Land, one that Israel can see because this was seen over most of Europe and East Asia, that would mean that Israel would see that blood moon too. Signifying the acceptance of a new generation. Right after Jerusalem's Jubilee. And a sign of judgment upon the Gentiles over the United States. And also turning into a partial solar eclipse over Barcelona, Spain. I'm not saying that the thing in Barcelona had anything to do with the total solar or the eclipse over Spain, but this eclipse goes over, the solar eclipse goes over the entirety of the United States and appears as a partial in Europe. Like I said, I don't leave any stone unturned. I'm not going to rest on my laurels and think that I know everything, that I have finished studying. No, I'm going to keep on doing this, but I see something here. And I wanted to pass this information on to you because there might be something to this.